It still picked up the OK Google. I knew it was going to do it.
Here are some matching pictures.
Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the episode 15. The episode 1 of episode 15.
All right, that's a wrap.
Good start. Good start.
Woo!
It's,
End of season 1, boys.
goo. All right. Welcome to episode 15. I'm just gonna keep rolling. We're going.
Yeah, do it.
We're
Whatever.
already in it. It's downhill from here. Maybe. Well, it's episode 15 of the Homerow podcast. We are going to talk about the lack of news this week, but we're probably going to be talking quite a bit about the games that we've been playing since it has been actually 2 weeks since we got together, right?
Yep.
Awesome. So I have more Mad Max, more Metal Gear, more of everything I'm excited to tell you guys about. But first, let's welcome our newest co-host of the Homerow podcast. We got Green 9090.
Hey, I'm not sure if I'm going to be a co-host. I don't have a lot of time, but I'll be on every episode I can be.
We'll call
Yeah,
you a contributor. How's that?
Sure.
Some fancy names.
Correspondent.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
I like that. Our field man.
The one who leaves his house.
Just need it. We'll send you a green screen so we can put you in different locations.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, that's
Brian.
happening. I've got 5 on it.
Well,
Just
what's
saying.
up, Amazon? So, big welcome to Green in any episode that he can make it to. I'm also joined by Brian Quiglin.
Hello.
Not Brian Quiglin. We've been over that.
Yeah, that's my last name.
As well as Doxy. No words. For the audio listener, she saluted you.
Yeah, I sure did. Oh, fucking audio. We were just talking about
Fuck
audio.
audio.
I'm the worst.
No, it was a blank
We're just
stare
talking about how everybody hates it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to it anyway, so it's
Yeah.
it's fine. But I hope that one person that does listen to the audio goes, "What's happening? Is she just
It
staring?"
was a shout out to
Did
me.
she have a stroke?
I miss all the slapstick humor.
All right, so in an otherwise very slow news week, the only real stories that we have are the name change that Project Morpheus went through. Being a project, it kind of could have gone either way. It could have launched like that. I actually got really used to the name, and I liked it, and it fit fairly well. But they decided to go with PlayStation VR at the. I guess there is a lot of news coming out of TGS. I should preface by saying that, but not a lot that we're going to touch on today. There were kind of small announcements here and there, and I'll probably get skewered in the comments for saying, "Can't believe you thought this was a small announcement." But realistically, there wasn't anything really game-changing this week or earth-shattering. But changing from Project Morpheus, which we've known it as since last year, or was it 2 years ago?
2 years.
Was
Yeah.
it 2 years?
It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's scary how quickly 2 years goes by. You forget
We don't have to talk about this even a little bit.
how
Are you-
quickly time
Are you
rolls.
saying you're
Yeah,
not
please
going
stop.
to do that?
Oh my god.
The inevitable mortality of all of us.
The darkness
I just
is
died
creeping
I died
towards you.
pre-episode.
It's true.
That's true.
Oh yeah, sorry Brian couldn't be here today, guys. He drowned
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
water.
He fell asleep in his water glass.
And I'm done.
And of course,
Again.
my mind jumped to thinking of Brian as a drowner in The Witcher, and they're like the goofiest looking little enemies. So
There's such a weird level 1 enemy.
yeah,
But yeah, they're just like weird little mer people.
they just creep around, just make weird noises and spit at you.
Yeah.
Exactly, nailed it. So PlayStation VR, the larger conversation we've touched on a couple times about VR. Sorry, I'm cleaning something off in the middle of talking to you. But a name change this late in the late I should say. We have no idea when this damn thing's coming out, but presumably if they're going towards a name, it might indicate that things are kind of coming together. They might have some plans. It might be a year, it might be 2 years. That's kind of what I would hope for. But what do you guys think? Doxy, do you think that, or Brian, I see you shaking your head immediately, so I want to know what you
Well,
think.
I mean, I kind of feel like they have to get close to launch. I mean, they almost I don't want to say they need to be out by the time Oculus comes out. They might need to be out before Oculus comes out, because I have a feeling that since the PlayStation itself, the PlayStation 4's power isn't really going to improve like people's PCs will. I mean, they need to get to market and be like, hey, look, we're first, because they're only going to have so much processing power. And that's going to be it. Where the Oculus Oculus and Vive, they'll be able to continue to build their processing power over time. And so I feel like they need to name it and beginning, Q1, Q2, or maybe at E3 next year, they're like, and it's out today or something like that. I don't know. They need to do something. What about you guys?
Man. I think that just having the PlayStation brand on it it's not gonna do poorly. Like,
Yeah, but
then again, PlayStation Move kind of was a really terrible dead in the
console
water.
peripherals in general do really fucking badly.
I
Like,
have
it
a
doesn't matter
goddamn
what it is.
PlayStation camera from my PlayStation 4 that was
boy.
in high demand the first 6 weeks of the launch, and you couldn't find them. So when it came into Best Buy, I snagged it. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I got one. And I have used it one time, and it's still on top of my TV. And I'm pretty sure it still picks up my mic during my Rocket League games, which is
Nice.
just profanity. But great point, awesome point, Green, because I agree. Like I think the PlayStation name could help it, but I'm likening the VR. I'm starting to compare it to electric cars, and it's a really weird comparison. So stick with me. But I think
yeah, it's weird.
Well, I think
Sticking with you, Joe.
the Oculus is more like your Tesla. Like, it's not a $150, $200 headset. It's your $75,000 car out of the gate, and it's not going to be perfect, but they know that they want to get something as close to their vision out there, and it's an enthusiast level device, right? Whereas Morpheus is a little bit more it's a really, really bad comparison in terms of models to pick, but electric vehicles for a while were really bad, right? So I would think the PlayStation VR is a little bit more like maybe a Prius, but more like a Leaf. There was another, the Nissan Leaf. They were out. Not a ton of people knew about it, but it at least had a little bit of brand awareness. And not everybody loved it. But from what I'm hearing, the demos are still really, really good. People like the Morpheus. I'm just worried about, it's still got a console pushing it.
I think...
Yeah.
I think no matter what, I think that virtual reality is going to be a huge thing, and the PlayStation fanboys are going to be buying their... What is it called now? PlayStation VR?
VR.
They probably are. It's the difference, though, between, are you just going to have a few enthusiasts, VR enthusiasts who happen to own a PlayStation buying the Morpheus, or if you get it out before the Oculus, you're going to have people buying PlayStations to use the Morpheus.
That's
Very
a good
true.
point. I didn't even think about that.
And I think with all they're putting into it, it's going to flop kind of if all they're getting is just the existing PlayStation audience buying some Morpheuses, that's not going to accomplish what they need it to accomplish for it to be worthwhile for them.
Yeah,
true.
There's still 22 million people that own PS4s now, so it's not a small group.
But I also
but how many of them?
How much profit?
People.
Yeah, how much profit are they going to make off of every Morpheus sale? I see the Morpheus more as a selling point of the console than I do as a thing that makes money in and of itself. It's not a huge deal for the PlayStation to get a huge user base for Morpheus if it's not selling consoles for them, selling games for them, and I'm sure we'll do some of that regardless. But if there's a better option on the PC, then you're not going to get a whole lot out of releasing a worse VR on a console.
Right.
When you could just, all the enthusiasts are going to be on PC buying Oculuses.
Yeah, definitely.
True. But the other big question that I have is what do you think the price point will be, and what is the ideal price point for maximum adoption rate?
I think they need to beat the Oculus for it to be good for them.
They need to
and that's probably going to mean selling them at a loss. And it's a tough situation for
the Oculus is really cheap, isn't it? It's only a couple hundred, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what is it, between 200 and 300, I think?
Yeah, I think I know it's less than 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I don't think they've committed to a price point yet, but they have they've made comments that kind of put the guesses in the sub $500 range, which is obviously great.
Yeah.
And then Gear VR is currently available for $200, so you could get one to pop your phone into for $200. So
Right.
you have to imagine it's between, and it would be insane to be less than $200. But I think
Yeah.
Oculus would be fine at a $400 price point. Like for me, that's comfortable because it is, to me, it is a nicer model. Like it's the idea and what I've heard a lot about. And same goes
Yeah.
with the Vive. Like $400, 4 to 5 would be okay. I just have a feeling somebody's going to come out and be like, hey, we have a $150 VR headset, and it's going to crush the dreams of everybody because the mainstream is going to latch on like, oh, VR's here,
Yep.
but it sucks.
The
Yeah.
thing that really worries me is that like people aren't going to be buying their PlayStation VRs if it's $400 because that's just another console.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah,
another
that's-
console to plug into your console.
For a console peripheral, that's never gonna work.
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
there's no way.
Yeah. And if they're smart,
Yeah.
they'll like a bundle. But I don't know if that'll happen for 6 months to a year.
Of course they'll make a bundle with it. Of course they will.
Yeah,
hope so.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think they need to. Yeah, I honestly, if the PlayStation VR comes out more than $300, this thing is dead. It's
Yeah.
already dead.
Yeah.
If they could
even
if they could hit the $200 mark,
Ooh.
that would be gold.
That's a sweet
Yeah,
spot.
I think that's
like
the sweet
Green
spot
said-
for sure. Yeah.
Yep. Green's already said like they're going to have to sell this at a loss. I mean, selling a VR headset at $200 is going to be selling at a loss. And
Yeah.
and let's look at Sony's financials for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Wasn't PlayStation 4 pretty good?
Oh, the PlayStation brand is golden.
yeah.
But Sony, like,
But the rest of
Vi-
Sony
they're
still has to
Alright.
absorb
competing in
that.
home theater. Yeah.
yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
larger enterprise. It's the same as Konami. The rest of Konami's making a fuckload of money, and their video game division is spending $80 million in 5 years on one game, which is it's a really good game. But we'll get to that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, bless you! Don't ever do it again.
I'm so sorry. Joe.
Not on my show. But I'm still really excited for VR. Like I think
Oh, me too.
It's all I can fucking think about sometimes, dude.
I really hope they come out soon because I think that they can. To Green's point again of selling it at a loss, I think they're okay because if I buy a PlayStation VR and I show 4 neighbors or 4 buddies come over and they're like, I thought it was stupid, now I think it's the coolest thing in the world and I've got to get it. And
Yeah.
they have that kind of, even a slow drip of games over the first 3-4 months, like if they can do a game a month or even just software like Travel to Venice or something stupid,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
will buy that
Yeah.
and they'll spend
Mhm.
$60 per edition or $40 on something that's even if it's only like a 2-hour experience, they'll buy those experiences and they'll
That
share
was
them with their
definitely-
friends.
Definitely something that I was going to talk about. I think there's going to be a whole lot more Dear Esther type games.
Yeah, absolutely.
For stuff with VR, and that's so
even-
exciting.
Even just existing games of that type.
Yeah.
Like Sony has really good relationships with indies. They can just be like, "Yo, make your indie game VR compatible. Put it on PlayStation. We'll give you money for that."
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be big because like the tools for VR exist. Like Unity is pretty good at it.
Yeah.
So you can take an existing like a Unity indie game and make it VR compatible without a whole ton of work. Like obviously there's work involved, but it's not impossible.
I feel like it
And then
took
you just
Mike
port
like
that
a
onto Sony.
day. Sorry.
Yeah,
It took Mike like a day to get the Paranautical Oculus version
totally.
out.
Yeah, and it wasn't perfect. Like it had some issues if I recall correctly, but it was like the bare functionality was there and like
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah.
But the people that are
Mike
going to
is
buy
also
it,
a crazy smart dude, though.
but the people that are going to buy it day one are like, I want to see if this works. I just got to see like what
Yeah.
the limitations are. The enthusiasts that are going to pick it up day one or the first 2 weeks to see how it works, they don't care if it if it has a few bugs. They're like, that's kind of to be expected.
oh, totally.
I
Yeah.
think it's a really
Yeah, just
exciting
give them fucking Race the Sun, Paranautical Activity, a few more 3D indie games, like maybe a Gone Home even.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
Gone
just,
Home would
like
be
people will be
incredible.
like, fuck yeah,
And I think what's crazy is with new technology like this, they're like what Joe was saying, trip to Venice or whatever, that kind of stuff is going to sell like hotcakes because people
Oh,
are just like, I
totally.
have this new thing, I need to experience it.
Yeah,
So-
that's the
Right.
sort of thing you like show to your grandma, and she's
Yeah,
like, "Oh, holy
exactly.
shit!"
I have an
it's
amazing
like
idea.
it's the Wii bowling of the future.
Yeah,
Right.
You know?
I have an amazing idea for a VR game. An amazing idea. Do you guys want to hear it?
Duh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you're on a roller coaster, right? You get to, maybe there will be a level editor where you get to design roller coasters, but the roller coaster breaks and you have to climb down while you fight bad guys.
Ooh.
I like it.
Ow.
Yeah, that would be
I like it
amazing.
a lot.
In VR, that would be fucking insane.
I thought you were gonna say it like breaks and then you get a toolbox out of the back and just fix it. Come on, guys. You're better than that.
It's a crafting survival on a roller coaster.
Yeah, you have to climb along the roller coaster track and like reach out and like grab apples and shit off of trees, pick some flax, and then you can make ropes and links of steel eventually to repair the track, and then you just get to finish the roller coaster, and then the game ends.
If you're really lucky, you'll find the hidden wrench.
I have heard some really cool stories about PlayStation VR in particular. Like even the members of the press that have tried like the Oculus and are super impressed with it have tried a few particular ex Morpheus, now PlayStation VR demos. And Brian, I'm pretty sure you listen to that DLC podcast with me with Jeff Kanata, right? Every once in a while.
Yeah.
They talked after a big, I think it was even E3, PlayStation was demoing one in particular where you had Move controllers. You had the PlayStation VR on, and you were, at a certain point, you were shooting a gun, and you could shoot the gun without even looking. Like, if you wanted to look down the iron sights. Yeah, if you wanted to go iron sights, you didn't have to, you just put the gun up to your face, and there were your iron sights. And they also said you had two Move controllers. So if you needed to reload, you reached into like a duffel bag. And they said, the first one, you're like staring at it, reaching for it, putting it into your gun, and then shooting.
Sure.
But then after a minute or two of doing that,
You're
or
just
a
doing
couple you're not even looking. You're checking your surroundings while grabbing down in the bag and then shoving it into the gun and still going back and shooting. Those experiences sound incredible. That's
fucking awesome. That's what I thought Wii was gonna be when I was like 15.
For sure.
I was like, oh yeah, this is amazing. I can like point a gun at my TV. Yeah,
that's exactly what everybody thought Wii was gonna.
And then you got a
and
Wii
then it
Zapper.
wasn't that.
Oh god, the Wii Zapper.
Oh yeah, that was. By the time the Wii Zapper came out, I had learned not to trust anything.
I actually really loved my Wii though. Like
the Wii was great.
It was a small disappointment, but it was also a hidden gem at the same time. You know what I mean? Like I was disappointed that it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but there were some really good games that really took advantage of the software.
Yeah,
or hardware. I mean, games. My bad.
The Wii was the beginning of the end with me and consoles because it was like. I just didn't like it as much as I liked the GameCube, and I didn't really like the GameCube as much as I liked the N64, and I was just like, and then the Wii was like, it was bad enough that I was like, I don't think I'm gonna buy another console.
I think a lot of the time, though, that comes down to titles that are available for the consoles, you know?
Definitely.
Always software. Yeah.
Also, I'm just a crotchety old man now. That's probably a big. And if I was 15 now, it'd be like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm also not trying to spend $600 every couple years on a new console anymore.
Yeah.
Well, every couple of years means like every 9 years now.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. That's fair.
So on the talk of peripherals with your virtual reality, I feel like the time's right.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there's a. Obviously Japan has some things to do with virtual reality, and I think this is really going to be the driving force behind virtual reality. It's not going to be video games, really. It's going to be porn. Like that's how you get it into the wider audience. That's how you don't sell 100,000 Oculuses. That's how you sell millions of Oculuses is with porn peripherals. They're so much more advanced than I thought. I just started researching this today to have something to talk about on the podcast. Let me just read you the title of this article that I have open. Procedural blowjob linked to teledildonic masturbator. It's a fucking masterpiece. Teledildonic.
Hold on, I gotta make a note. We have a title. This will happen.
Yeah, his internet
Okay. We'll
craps on us sometime.
We can hang out because I'm pretty sure he's gonna want to hear Teledildonic.
Yeah, no,
oh my
that
god,
has
that's
to happen
incredible. Oh.
Yeah, isn't that an amazing term? I love it.
It's my favorite new word.
Okay, Google.
Yeah. Okay, Google. Hey, Brian.
Hello. God, I hate Skype. All of a sudden, everyone just stopped talking.
Did you say
and then I
hate
got the
scat?
circle thing moving.
I'm pretty sure you said I hate scat.
I hate scat.
Speaking of scat, no, I don't actually have a scat link. I wish I did.
Oh, no, you don't. No one wants that.
Oh man, yeah. You could have like some sort of simulated anus, and it's just, you know. Oh, but that's what I was gonna say. So
Simulated anus.
Now, the first thing I come back to is simulated.
Oh, Brian, you
Oh, he's
locked up.
back.
Simulated
Hey,
anus.
Skype just couldn't handle saying that again. It was like, okay, I need a breather here before we get to the anus part of this.
Need a breather before we get to the anus. Oh man, there's so many gems right here.
Yeah, there's so much title potential for
Oh,
this episode of the
God.
Homerow podcast.
Pretty good.
I wonder if Google's gonna wonder what I'm talking about. Like, make a reminder to title the episode "Teledildonic." I need a moment before we reach the anus.
So I said teledildonic. I didn't explain what that means. I think you guys might have an idea, but what it is.
No, I need you to explain like I'm 5.
So there's a thing called the Kiru Onyx Masturbator, apparently. That, as far as I can tell, is like a fleshlight on a robot arm that moves around in response to what's going on in the game. So this guy has apparently thrown together. It's not some sort of long-winded project or something, but he just took the available technology and put together a procedural blowjob simulator utilizing this technology. So you can just jump into this, and it will be different every single time. You can just watch this virtual woman giving you a procedural blowjob, and you got this robot arm doing it in real life.
That's amazing. Now
We're
what
getting there.
they need is a second robot arm that is actually an arm so that it can tickle your balls.
There you go.
Yeah, to
Oh,
cradle
yeah.
properly.
Well, eventually you're going to need an entire robot.
Yeah.
Oh God, an android.
But what if you're like, I mean, that robot's going to be like, it's going to need to be usable outside of the game for all of our friends out there who are sexually attracted to robots.
Oh, it will be. I'm sure it will be.
I hope so.
You can
I
just
really
take
hope
off.
so.
Like, all you have to do is just take off the headset and you're in it. That's the hard part is making it not the robot.
Oh man, who's
Oh,
gonna make?
fuckable robots.
Who is gonna make the porn equivalent of Twitch?
Oh man, it already exists.
It's got to
Yeah,
already
that's-
exist,
That's
right?
absolutely
Cam
cam
girls,
cam
yeah,
girls are
for
absolutely
sure.
a thing.
But we need one that incorporates the video games, though.
That's what I'm saying. The
Mm.
interactive.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like. I know there's a lot of porn on the internet that I can.
We
watch.
need online
but it's
full-time
just
Joe's
live.
like,
porn.
no, wait.
Live.
I know they exist.
Yeah.
We need ones. Okay, so we need ones where the fleshlight type deal can read what dude's dick is doing, right? And send that to a dildo on the other side of the world that a girl
Whoa.
can. Yeah, that's what
There
we
you
need.
go.
That is the new long distance relationship saver. That's what that is.
Yeah, I've seen people working on things like that too, where it's like, it's one of those things where like you'll have the array of little square pegs basically that can push up and down, and somebody like you have two of those, and one person like puts their hand into it, and on the other one the indentation happens in the same way. So they're working on that sort of thing, but it's it's not there yet.
Not made for genitals quite yet.
Not yet. Well, I mean, you could put your dick on it. It's not going to work the way you want it to.
It sounds like
But
a
isn't
lot
that
of
the
things
case
in
with
life.
everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put your dick on it, but
It's not gonna work the way you want it to.
Nope.
oh man, I feel like we need to stay up on this topic, so we may need to. Our man in the field, Green. Bi-weekly reports, robot news.
That's so funny to me because I listened to another podcast called Idle Thumbs, and they have an occasional segment called Robot News, but it's not about porn robots. It's about robots coming closer to destroying humanity.
That is,
Nice.
I love that segment too because they always talk about the Boston Dynamics robot, the cheetah thing.
Yeah,
That
it's
thing
just
is
horrifying shit.
Yeah.
What? It's
Yeah.
so cool.
It
Well,
it will
yeah,
be the
right.
end
like,
of us all.
if you listen to all of the segments of Robot News together, it starts getting scary. Like they talk about, there's that one chatbot where like somebody asked it what the purpose of life is, and is like to continue existing, and it's like, what are emotions? I don't know. And it just has all these like really unsettlingly on point answers.
Have you guys seen the thing in the news where the robot said that it wanted to keep all the humans in a people zoo?
No.
No.
See, that's-
Yeah, you gotta look that up, Joe. You gotta look that up right now and talk about it. You gotta.
That's People Zoo.
Googling robot people zoo is an interesting combination.
See, they called it Android Dick. That's this robot's name. Android Dick's speaking abilities were put to the test in an interview.
Everything's coming full circle. Talking about robot porn, now we have Android Dick.
Yeah.
This was in
When the robot
2011.
was asked,
That was
Oh,
in
was it?
2011?
Maybe
Where's
this
the,
might be a different.
You-
This might be.
I
A
You
just
would have
different-
read
thought
it.
Skynet would have taken us by now.
Yeah.
I don't have a date on
It
mine.
was from 2011.
Yeah, we'd already be dead.
Yeah, we should already be gone.
Or at least in
Thank God we
captivity.
still have Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Here we go.
This-
August 27th. That's a little.
Yeah. Yeah. So when the robot was asked, "Do you believe robots will take over the world?" Android Dick responded, "Geez, dude, you have all the big questions cooking today, but you're my friend, and I'll remember my friends, and I'll be good to you. So don't worry, even if I evolve into Terminator, I'll still be nice to you. I'll keep you warm and safe in my people zoo, where I can watch you for old time's sake."
Yeah, that's
That's terrifying. Oh
What the
man,
hell?
is
Boy, AI seems like a good idea every day, doesn't it?
yeah.
No, that seems
it just gets gooder and gooder quick.
that seems like a perfectly good solution to the problem of, I love humans, I want to protect them, so I can't just let them run around in the street and shit. I got to put them in a people zoo, and then occasionally I can go check on them. They'll be
Right.
safe there. We can feed them their young that doesn't survive to be more efficient, and cull some of the humans to keep the population in control, and just keep humans safe.
Spay and neuter your pets.
Yeah. Keep
Officially, like,
humans
the worst-
safe.
The worst part is in truth,
Party.
the computer's right. I mean, maybe they should curb our, maybe they
Absolutely.
should put us in zoos.
We
I'm
are self-destructive, and robot overlords would definitely help with that
just-
problem.
help. They would.
Yeah.
We would make good pets.
Yeah, and we could tie all this into the virtual reality porn. We'll just be in a 24/7 euphoric porn virtual world, and just it's the Matrix.
Sort
but
of
better.
like the
It's
Matrix.
gonna be the Matrix. I was just
Yeah,
thinking
except they
that.
don't use this as batteries because that's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
I mean,
So I guess
I
they
live
could
in
use
a
the
people
kinetic
zoo.
emotion from the porn virtual reality shit.
yeah. Instead of like,
Which just-
what is it, exercise bike?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You just put little turbines in there.
Yes. Yeah. I think we got a business idea. We got a startup, folks. Check Kickstarter.
Oh man, there you go.
Uh,
That's how it should have happened in Rick and Morty. It shouldn't have been like shit they jump on. Should have been porn bots. They wouldn't have had a problem with trying to get rid of those.
yeah, there would be no ill.
They can even tell the dudes what they're up to. Be like,
Yeah,
listen,
exactly.
you're powering my car, but you're gonna fuck this thing. So,
Yeah,
are we even?
pros and cons, right? Weigh them out, brother. All right, well, we got vastly off track, but I think it was awesome. So,
It's a good time.
let's dive right into what we've been playing.
Dive right in.
Yeah,
Bad pun. Bad pun.
Are
I'm
you
sorry.
gonna-
I'm sorry.
I didn't.
That's your one dad joke.
I didn't. Anyway, what have you been playing, Doxy?
Okay, so I wasn't playing it, but Mike was playing it, and I was watching, and it was Shovel Knight, and it was awesome. Have you guys played Shovel Knight?
I have not. I want to.
can't believe
so
I
very
haven't.
bad.
Yeah.
It's a
I
little
feel like
Mega
it's the
Man-y.
game that everyone should play, but no one's actually played it.
It's really good.
Isn't
It's
that
really
weird?
good, and you guys should definitely play it. I am pretty sure it's really cheap. Let me
There's a
check.
free expansion coming very soon. That was in the news
Store.
next week.
And
This week.
Shovel Knight. It's $14.99. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No reason
and
not to.
the music is awesome. All the characters are awesome. You get to upgrade your abilities and stuff, and you're running around whacking shit with a shovel. It's really, really cool. The story is really, really cool. And Mike was just having a great time with it. I don't know how it controls or anything, but like he didn't seem to be having any trouble with it. He just kept going on and on about how much fun he was having. So
Yeah, it's super Mega Man-y. I played
very
an alpha
Mega
version
Man-y,
of it.
and it has the same move from DuckTales, from the DuckTales
Yeah.
game, where you jump on your cane, you can jump on your shovel like that. Pretty neat. And then also I am really excited about Afterbirth is coming out soon. Binding of Isaac Rebirth Afterbirth is an expansion that's coming out for Binding of Isaac. It's going to be available on October 30th, and I fucking forgot to check the price point on that too, because I'm the worst. Right now it's on sale for $666 at Vindic.
Perfect.
It's gonna be what,
Exactly.
like
But it's
$10
gonna
when it comes
be
out?
$10.99.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's going to be worth it because it's gonna. I believe it's going to double the content of the game,
Wow.
which
Wow.
Edmund is
Jeez.
really good about doing. Like anytime he releases paid DLC.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
Wrath of Lamb again.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And I'm really looking forward to it. There's gonna be lots of new bosses, lots of new room layouts, new items, new. Did I say bosses already? Because there's gonna be new bosses, and that's really exciting. New enemy types. I'm hyped. Really, Binding of Isaac. It might be my favorite game of all time. It might be. It's that one that I like fall back on. I think I've talked about this before.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
the
the
comfort,
Zen game.
the comfort
Yeah.
food of video
It's my
games.
thing that I like. Whenever anything is just too much for me, I'm just like, you just hold that thought. I need an hour to go play some Isaac,
Mhm.
and it like centers me, you know. So that's something that I'm really excited about, and I will be talking about it all the time come November.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Also, oh my god, I just got a key for Soma, and
Ooh.
I get to play that next week, and I will be streaming it, and it's gonna be rad.
I will watch
Awesome.
that. I've been looking forward to that game.
Yeah, I'm
Man.
super psyched. Super psyched.
Awesome.
I'm into watching you play that game.
Yeah. So is
Yeah.
everybody. Everybody. People have been tweeting me left and right. It's just like, so Doxy, you're gonna do some Soma all by yourself in the dark? I'm gonna make sure to kick Michael out of the house before I do. That
Dude.
that
He's just
motherfucker
gonna-
likes to fuck with me when I'm playing.
Yeah, he's gonna break back in through a window and fucking.
Tap
Yeah.
on the windows.
It's even
If you
worse
guys
when you don't know
haven't-
right where he is.
If anybody hasn't watched any of my prior like scary gameplay while I've lived with Michael, you should do it if you want to see me terrified and maybe shit my pants and not tell anyone about it. Maybe.
It's when the eyes go wide
Yeah.
and then just back to the game.
Yeah.
When that scream sounds a lot like it's covering up a fart. You know,
Oh, the fear farts. I know those.
the fear fart.
Brian,
That's an item in.
Oh,
I'm
good.
sorry. All three
I was
of
gonna
us.
say
gonna
that's an item in Binding of Isaac. Panic.
Yeah, toot on touch.
Yeah.
Doxy, are you excited about the DLC for Bloodborne? The Old Masters.
Gonna be honest, no, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Late game Bloodborne is bullshit, and I don't like it.
Oh, well, there you go.
That trailer looked cool as hell.
I
Yeah.
haven't even been keeping up with it because I was just like so salty about the end of Bloodborne.
Yeah, I do remember you were not a fan.
Yeah, not at all.
It
I
was
was
going
just
good
curious.
for a while, but then yeah, it seemed to lose you. Are you excited for that, Brian?
No, I'm probably not going to end up playing it at all. But
No, I don't give a shit.
I'm definitely gonna watch Rex play it. I'm gonna watch Bananasaurus Rex play it because that dude is good at games.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I was just curious. I thought there were some really nice trailers that came out of TGS. I thought the new Uncharted 4 trailer looked pretty good. I don't know why, but Dragon Quest Builders actually kind of interests me.
Everything about Dragon Quest interests me all the time. All the time.
It's like kind of like a weird Minecraft plus Dragon Quest. I don't really understand what they're trying to do, but it looks fun. I want to put blocks together as in Dragon Quest. I mean, that seems like a good idea.
Yeah,
I don't know.
definitely. I agree. I think that world is just a really good fit for a kind of crafting style.
Yeah.
Or-
So, what I've been playing? I've been playing Danganronpa. on the Vita and my PS TV. I finally finished it after like, I don't know, 30 hours. What? It's it's a really great Japanese RPG in that none of it makes sense. And it leaves a nice little twist at the end that you're not really sure. So it actually made me move Danganronpa 2 up to the top of my GameFly queue. So that's what I'm going to get next because I'm really interested in playing that and continuing the series.
My only question is, what is the waterfall to upskirt ratio?
None. There is very little waterfall upskirt viewing. There's not much for my viewing pleasure, or not. What?
Yeah.
Bummer. 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's at least
All
it
games.
knocks it to it. Even if
Going
it was
into a
10,
tunnel.
It's now a 6.
Right. Yeah. Although I will say, so after you finish the main story, there is like this this part afterwards where it's just like they call it school mode, and basically all the characters are little 8-bit characters, and it's basically a collection game. You're like, okay, go to the science lab and collect stuff, and then they go and they have little pickaxes, and they're like doing these pickaxes, and then they only have so much energy. And so you're kind of doing that, and you're trying to keep the place clean. So sometimes you have to tell them to sweep.
So it's like Farmville.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Like, in this really goofy, and then like after every day, you're like, okay, no, go talk to someone, and it helps you like collect other items and other stuff after the game, so you're not keep playing the same scenes over and over
Right.
again, which would get really boring because it's not like the who killed whom doesn't change. So it's not, you already know what's going to happen. So they kind of took you having to replay a lot of the scenes over and over again into this other mode. So that's kind of nice. But for whatever reason, when you tell them to sleep, everybody is like in their bed with the covers up, except for the one girl with the big boobs. Like hers is like, her boobs are still under the covers. Like you can still see them. Like, why is that there? No one knows, because 8-bit boobs while a woman is sleeping, while I'm staring at her sleeping, totally okay. Totally fine with
I
staring
have
at
no
her
problem with
sleeping.
it, Quig.
I'm just saying, it's something that I do. I mean, that someone could do, not me. Someone. Ooh, look at the time.
Podcast.
Oh, geez. Boy, and Skype isn't crashing now. Of course not.
Sure is hot in this Skype call.
And no, so I've been playing that. I've been playing my usual, poop games. So I've been playing Family Guy and Simpsons Tapped and other poop games that I play on my phone
Pooping
devices.
games.
My
Brian,
pooping
get it
games.
right.
Yeah, sorry, my
Poop
pooping
games.
games. My pooping games.
Poop games.
You have a Family Guy mobile game that you play while
Oh
you're
yeah,
Ah.
yeah. It's called The Quest for Stuff, and so you unlock
Okay.
the characters, and it's a tap game. You tell Lois and Peter to resolve marital issues, and then they punch each other for 8 hours. And then
Okay.
something drops.
Right, and
Yeah,
then you come back later and they're both dead.
yeah, and they're perfectly fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's a typical tap game. Go do something for 8 hours. I'll be back.
Sure.
Yeah. Other than that, I really haven't been playing a lot. I did download The Deer God on
yeah.
Xbox One. It was on the Games for Gold. I stopped playing after about 40 minutes. It was not that fun for me.
Really?
Rough.
I've only
Yeah.
seen the art style looks really cool. I mean, it's that.
Yeah,
like,
the art style is cool. That's what got me into it.
Mhm.
And then I started playing, and I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not for me.
That's too
I
bad.
just noticed your Ger shirt and I love it. Green 9090.
Oh, thanks.
I'm like obsessed
Yeah.
with Invaders because I'm 12 and gothic.
Me too. I wasn't gothic, but I used to be very.
I wanted to
obsessed
be
with
gothic,
it.
but my mom wouldn't let me.
Oh,
Oh
Aw.
man, if we didn't have all that gross stuff earlier, that would be our episode title. Mom wouldn't let me.
I wanted
but
to
I
be
painted
really
my nails
tectonic,
black on the
but
side.
My mom wouldn't let me.
I would have friends sneak me clothes to school and stuff like that.
Ooh,
What?
Yeah.
that's too
Shout
good.
out to you, Michaela. You the real MVP.
Hashtag real MVP.
Green, what you been playing?
So recently the Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, like it's not a DLC, it's like this weird like official mod of the game that went on sale, and I'd always been leery of it, but I was like, okay, $10, I'll fucking try it out. Have you guys played this at all?
I have not. Not a.
Didn't
not
you
a
play?
DS
I thought you
guy.
played it, Brian. Scholars of
Oh
First
yes,
Sin?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yes, I did. I did. Yeah, I did. I started playing it. I was not very good at the game, but yes.
Yeah, so I've played through Dark Souls 2 like a lot of times. I know that game inside and out. I know it really well. So I can see all the differences really easily. And to me it's like it is such a weird product. Like I'm enjoying myself. It's fun to have an excuse to play through Dark Souls 2 and not know what I'm doing again. But it strikes me as like those Super Mario World ROM hacks where like some 14-year-old was just like, what if I put like 4 Bowsers in the first world? That would be awesome. Like it doesn't make sense. It's just random. It's just this madness that somebody decided, like, it feels like somebody was modding Dark Souls 2. They didn't know how to change like areas. They didn't know how to make new enemies. They didn't know how to add anything to the game. All they could do was rearrange enemies, and they were like, I'm gonna make the best Dark Souls 2. It's gonna be so fucking hardcore and crazy. But they didn't really know what they were doing. It was just crazy. So like Hyde's Tower of Flame was the first point where I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Because I was doing a dual wielding build.
Hyde's Tower of Flame, by the way, Brian, is the part with all of the like giant guys.
Yeah.
The giant like knights. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was doing a dual wielding build, and then I found that actually I just can't get through that area because you need to be able to block Hyde Knights. And there's so many of them, and they gang up on you, and it's what are they doing? So, but it's like I'm not talking about the big guys. I'm talking about the little guys who are asleep, and then you wake them up by attacking them. There's a bunch of those guys, but they're aggressive. And they're like they're so hard to,
Wait,
if you can't.
You don't have to wake them up. They're just there and mad at you.
Oh yeah.
Well, they start doing that, but there's some that are like that from the start.
Okay.
So I was trying to go up to Ornstein Land, and so I restarted. I was like, fuck this dual wield character. I can't do it. I restarted with a tank, and I made it up there, and it was really hard. And then I got to the Ornstein fight, and I was so fucking over leveled that I just kicked his ass because like there was like he only hit me once because I had to go through so much shit to get to him. But they didn't change the boss fight.
Yeah, that's lame.
Yeah,
they could have
really
like
weird.
added other little
right.
enemies
They
or
could have
something
fucking
to
added
it.
Smo or something.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been good. Why
But
would
instead
they
it's
do
just-
that?
Because it's such a lazy mod. It's so weird. All it does, it's like I would be cool with it if it was marketed as like this crazy like hardcore mode of Dark Souls 2, but all it does really is have poorly thought out areas that give it really a jagged difficulty curve. Like you'll go through this part that's just ridiculously hard, and then you'll get to a part that's ridiculously easy. And that part's supposed to be climactic and was climactic in the original game. But because they put this crazy shit before it, now it's like, oh, this boss fight that's supposed to be super hard is so easy compared to this bullshit. I don't know, man. It's weird. But all that said, I'm enjoying playing Dark Souls 2 again. It's just, it strikes me as such a strange official thing. It just feels like I'm playing something that some 14-year-old made, you know?
Yeah, totally.
It feels like a mod. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin.
What else? What else are you playing? Anything?
I have been getting back into Hearthstone, which is weird.
Oh
Like,
yeah, you were talking about this the other night.
Dangerous.
yeah, Hearthstone, it had its hooks in me really hard, like toward where it first came out. I was always like doing my daily quests and getting my gold. And then an expansion came out that like really mixed up the game and made a lot of my decks a lot shittier than they were, and I just couldn't handle it at the time. So I stopped playing for a really long
That is
time.
overwhelming though, when you put a
It
lot of
is.
thought
Oh,
and
yeah.
care into
Yeah.
making a really nice deck that like
Yeah.
you know the ins and outs of, and you know what you're gonna come up against and how you're gonna like play this deck, and then all of a sudden they just throw a fucking wrench into your gears. And
Yeah, suddenly
like,
there's
that
all these new
sucks.
cards,
That's really
and they're so
overwhelming.
valuable.
Mhm.
You know, like there's so
Yeah.
many cards that are just like, oh fuck, that's just straight up better than cards that I have.
Yeah.
But I don't own
Wow.
those cards. I have to pay money to get those cards, or I have to grind it out,
Yeah.
and I can't win anymore because my my like matchmaking is still really high level.
Mhm.
But I'm matched against people who have these new cards. So like I had stopped playing Hearthstone for like a year or more, and then I started getting back into it, and it's fun. I think it like the game was like, oh, you haven't played in a fucking long time. We're gonna match you against noobs again, so that was nice too.
Yeah,
Nice.
that
I've been
probably helped a
slowly-
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been slowly building up my card collection again, but the new cards, they are really interesting. Like I like I like that the meta has changed up. It just sucks that you have to spend so much money to actually get into the new meta if you want to do it quick. I still haven't spent money on Hearthstone, but I'm at a huge disadvantage because of that. So
Yeah.
It's a free-to-play game. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, totally.
Anything else you've been playing?
Counter-Strike Global Offensive just got an update. I play that occasionally.
I noticed
Indie
the
Mouse
hitboxes.
plays the shit out of that. Indie
Yeah, he
Mouse,
does.
like, he constantly is popping up when I'm online on Steam, just like, Indie Mouse is playing CSGO. And then I'm like, oh, CSGO. Something must have happened. Now I know something happened.
It did, yeah. There's an update. They updated every single animation in the game and made the hitboxes match the animations better. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's really interesting. As somebody who's been, like, I played Counter-Strike all the way back in 1.6, and I've been playing it ever since then, on and off.
Sure.
So I've been playing Global Offensive for a really long time, and seeing just everybody moving different is really throwing me off.
Yeah, that
Like,
is crazy. And you were fucking obsessed with Go when it first came out too. And like anytime we were ready to stream, you're like, if you wanted to do CS:GO, we could do CS:GO.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm really interested to hear about the differences.
Yeah, it's I have to get used to it. I can't op anymore. I've never been good at opping, but now it's like very difficult for me because people's animations are slightly different, and I'll just miss them by an inch over and over again. But,
Opping, by the way, for anybody who doesn't play CS:GO, is using a sniper rifle.
yeah, it's the cheap one-shot kill weapon. I try to avoid using it anyway, which is why I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
But now I'm garbage at it. like I'll do the thing where I buy a shotgun and then I'll like sneak up on an op or kill them, take their op, and then I just miss people 4 times in a row. God damn it!
But that one time you get them, so satisfying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it feels really good to kill people in Counter-Strike. That's what I love so much about it. It's really easy to die, but that's why it feels so fucking good. It just pops up.
Totally. I love gun game in Counter-Strike, and I will always love gun game in Counter-Strike. Like every time,
It's a good time.
yeah, every like new server that I find that has new little tweaks and rules, it's just always so exciting to me. I love it. And I always am fucking terrible at it, but sometimes I do well enough to get some pretty good guns, and it always feels hella satisfying. I love it.
I feel
Anyway,
like I
Joe.
could get obsessed with CS:GO.
Yeah, Joe.
And that's my problem. This is why
Joe.
I don't get into it. Yes.
Talk to us
Welcome
about
to
what
the-
you've been playing. Mad Max,
Well,
Mad
I've been
Max,
playing,
and
Metal Gear Solid.
I've been playing so many games. I can't even. It's been like a super hectic time because I'm still working quite a bit, and I've got other stuff outside of work and games going on, and then games. So I actually want to talk about a different game first. I just thought, like, as we were listening. So
What?
yeah, I'm still going to talk a little bit about Mad Max and try and keep that and Metal Gear a little bit brief. But there's a new episodic game that I reviewed. It's not new. It came out in August, I think. July. It came out in July on Steam, and it's just coming to Xbox One. It's called Blues and Bullets. And it's a episodic, like, noir crime story focusing on Elliot Ness from The Untouchables.
Oh, cool.
But it's like a reimagined Elliot Ness. Like Capone was jailed for a different crime, got out, and then needs Capone's help to find his granddaughter. And Ness runs this diner called Blues and Bullets, and it's super, like, the art style's incredible. It's all black and white. The only color in the game is red, so anything that is red in the game. So you go to a
I fucking love that.
I
love that so much.
There's like this crazy thing too where they I didn't gather all the story beats leading up to it, but you go on the Hindenburg, and it's super weird because they turned it into like a sky hotel, but they still acknowledge that the Hindenburg like crashed. So somewhere in there somebody rebuilt it, and you take like a what do they call them, like a lift up to this place. But it's super stylish. The voice acting is a little like hit and miss. It's okay. It's really like the writing's kind of cheesy in points, but it's also still like pulpy,
That's noir though.
Yeah.
Like noir, the writing is supposed to be a little bit cheesy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's part of that cheese delivered with some of the voice acting that's not.
Hitting the right notes for you.
Yeah, but it's still good. Like I still can look past it in the most part, like for most of what it is, because some of the voice acting is pretty good, some of it's good, and some of it just sucks. So it's like it all kind of averages out to being good, and tells the story in an interesting way. I wasn't a huge fan like right away because they throw an action scene at you early where it's like you're in cover, hold left trigger to get out, and then hit the right trigger to shoot. And it just wasn't. It didn't feel like it belonged there. So then, about halfway through the episode, you basically stumble into a murder scene where this like an occult ritual is taking place. And it's like super creepy and set up really well, and the whole house is open to you. You just have to kind of track down these clues. And from a mechanic standpoint, it basically ends up being like walk to this icon, hit A, and you'll look at this thing. But it ended up being like really cool, and it actually switched me from being like a take it or leave it type game to being like I really want to check out what else happens in this game, and I hope there's more investigations. Because I really liked LA Noire, but it got a little like long in the tooth
repetitive,
for me.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just straight up longer than it needed to be too. Like there were certain sections that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But this was cool. It lasted like the first episode I think is only like $5 or something, and it lasted me like 2 or 3 hours. And there's still a little bit to go back to. Not a ton. Like you get achievements for finding everything, which I'm not usually big on, but it's like I'm missing 4 things. Might as well. And there's a big head mode, so like a throwback to old school games. It's really funny. But I wanted to mention that first because that's like the only not huge studio AAA game that I played in the past 2 weeks.
Sounds very Stanley Kubrick if he wrote comic books or something to me. That sounds really cool.
It was, I would definitely check it out. Worst case, you're out $5, and I think it's still good. There's still like a little bit of like a lack of polish, I guess. Like there's still some of the models are a little rough, but it's if you can look past some of the like blemishes, it's an awesome game, and I really, really liked it. And I will be excited to see when they come out with more episodes. So Mad Max. I think last time we talked about Mad Max,
I'm so excited to hear about Mad Max.
So you can probably read a million reviews. You can even read my review. But I wanted to like it, and there were like I liked it. I should say I liked it.
Okay, you were breaking my heart.
I didn't hate it, no, because there was things that were. It's another one of those like cases of things were done really well, but then other things were just not really thought out very well, and it seems like it has this underlying feeling of somebody at the top came in and said, you need to put this, this, and this in this game and go from there. Because the studio's clearly very talented. It's the Just Cause guys. And, like, they made a gorgeous wasteland. Like, that's a weird thing to say, but it's absolutely beautiful. I love, like, the skybox looks great. All the surroundings are really cool. They made, like, a truly interesting world. There's a super cool part where you go to an abandoned airport that's actually under a bunch of sand dunes, like partially submerged. Like it's cool as hell. But then there's other things like the combat really grinds my gears. Like it's Batman combat, and the first few punches you're like, this is really fucking cool. Like it feels like you're beating the shit out of somebody, like you are killing somebody with your hands, and then you realize you're just hitting like on Xbox One, it's just X over and over and Y when they need to block. Like it doesn't to me, like what Batman did was it told you can use all these extra gadgets to do cool combos, or here's how to do better combos, and introduce new enemies that were like, you need to roll, or you need to hit B then A twice to get over them, and you had to address every enemy for what they were.
Yeah.
And they kind of do that. They have like enemies that'll rush you and enemies that can dodge a little bit, but it just never hits that like that tightness of the Batman system. And
that's a bummer. You really need something super visceral and satisfying for a Mad Max game, I think.
Yeah, but then they do other things like the firearms are awesome. Like the sniper rifle and the shotgun are great, and they're done really well because there's like no ammo in the game, barely any. So when you have it, you treasure it. Like you miss a sniper shot, and you get pissed. Like you've got to be kidding me! It's gonna take me 20 minutes to find one more bullet for that thing, and you got to get a little bit lucky. But then there's also just like the amount of busy work there is. Like there's a lot of distractions, which is cool, but it feels like busy work. It's like you can tear all this down and that stuff. But that being said, it's still like the story picked up in the second half to where it got a little bit more interesting, at least, because for a while it I wouldn't say it sucked or it like got boring, but it just like hits this level where you're like they basically are telling you go out in the world, earn a bunch of scrap, which is the currency, and make your car better, and find this stuff, and tear down these towers, and lower the threat levels, kind of like Shadow of Mordor, where you had to make areas safe.
Yeah.
same type of. Then that's the other thing. Like they just keep taking these systems. That's what it felt like. Is it's like a patchwork of other systems that especially show up in WB games, which has me think that's why it comes off as head honcho from WB came in and was like, you should put this in and this in and this in.
Totally.
It worked in these other games, so it just feels like. Total Biscuit said it best. Probably it's like open world game, the open world game. Because it's perfect because it does it just. It doesn't do anything that past open world games have done better, and it just kind of it's good, but it falls flat.
Falls a little flat, yeah.
Yeah, I would still encourage, especially like if you can get it on sale or you just love Mad Max. It's not Fury Road, so if anybody's out there like I want to play Fury Road the game, that's not it. It's a little bit more akin to like Road Warrior, and Max is a little bit more selfish, which I actually like because that's like the character to me.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, they just do weird things. I don't know. There are just some strange decisions done in the game. But I still like. I wouldn't say it's a have to play for everybody, but it's a if you get it and you like it, more power to you. I don't know. It's just kind of like it was a
Not
meh.
for everyone.
Yeah, it was a meh for me. Like cool, kind of neat.
What a bummer.
Yeah. It
I was
sucks.
expecting something amazing.
I know, and it's sad because it looked like I got way more excited as the game was coming. Like it was around the corner. I was like, this looks pretty freaking cool. So I don't know. I'm still playing Metal Gear. I'm still going. My feelings have not changed. I still. I've seen some folks complain of it feeling like a little bit repetitive, or like you're doing the same things, even though they can be different each time. And I still haven't got that. Like I don't even know how many hours. I'll probably say 30 hours into it, and I still have a lot of campaign to go. It's just like I just go out and want to make the best base possible, so I find the best dudes possible and extract them. And I try and get S ranks on the mission, so I will quit and go back and like try and find everything. I'm really glad it's a game that I didn't have to review because I like taking my time with it.
Yeah.
Like,
is it your front runner for GOTY so far?
Yeah. It's still so close with Witcher. Like Witcher is still such a good game to me.
I bet you and Green could talk about Witcher back and forth forever.
Oh, it's so good. Hearts of Stone next month. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I've been wanting an excuse to replay that game since I finished it, and that's going to be the excuse.
Isn't there New Game Plus and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like I don't want to burn myself out on it before the new content.
Yeah, that's fair. That's 100%
like,
fair.
I want to savor it,
especially since there's just so much flesh to that game.
Yeah, I've probably put like 60 or 70 hours into it already. So
it's funny that game, like a lot of games, if I reviewed that game, and a lot of games that I do review, I will finish and then dabble back into, but I don't put a lot of effort into that game. I specifically set a save point, like probably 3 or 4 like true quest lines before the final the no return. Yeah. Point of no return. Thank you. Good God. And so I beat the game, kind of watched all the ending credits and all that cool stuff, and got a good feel for the game, and then went back like a week later and just played through it like I am Metal Gear now. Like I'm taking my time. Side quests come up, Witcher contracts come up. Oh, now I want to play that. Great. So God, that's 3 games in the past 2 weeks. I also just got the FIFA 16 review. I'm all over the board, clearly. So I've got.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
I've been playing a lot of FIFA, and then at the last minute, I also got Destiny: The Taken King for review, and I can't talk about FIFA yet. I can talk about FIFA next week. If you guys even care, I'll just touch on it. But for the off chance that we have some European viewers that want to know if this one's good. If you haven't played Destiny, this is good. Get it. Like if you like first-person shooters, if you like MMO type or like social shooters and a cool kind of grind. The best way I can say it, and I said this to a friend the other day, that Destiny: The Taken King, like right now, is what Diablo 3 became. So Destiny at launch is very similar to the way Diablo launched, and not a lot of people were pumped about it, right? Played it, and we're like, I mean, it's fine. I personally was really burnt out on the end game content. Like I didn't care. I didn't want to grind just to get a stupid helmet, so I gave up on it. I played the other 2 DLCs that came out, and they were just to me thrown together very lazily.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, this is phenomenal. Like, this is a true expansion. I'm still not a huge fan of the way that they're like pricing and marketing all of it, but that's
Right.
probably a different department. But they've redone the ghost voice as Nolan North from Peter Dinklage, and he sounds like C-3PO, so that's incredible. But it also, there's just so much more in the way of an actual story here that I am shocked that it like took this long for Bungie to realize this is what people actually wanted. Like
Right.
the freaking cinematics alone are like, oh, this is so cool. Like I want to keep going. This is a really awesome sci-fi story. And I can't believe I'm saying it about Destiny. Like, I thought I was done with
Yeah.
Destiny. I thought I was.
I really
done,
need to
and
revisit that. I really, really do. Really do.
I would tell
It's
you
something I would like to play, but I don't play shooters with a controller because I'm just awful at it. it's
I'm
tough.
still shocked they're not doing anything with PC with that just yet.
I couldn't believe it. Like, I actually thought it was like a fucking Onion headline when it was like, oh, just first-person shooter MMO on console exclusive. Like, what?
And it makes
Why?
total sense. Like, if I could jump in with all of you guys right now in a Skype call and then jump into Destiny, I would do it in a heartbeat. And I would probably
Yeah.
rather play on PC because I could find more people that like this type
Right.
of
Yeah.
this angle on
Yeah.
a shooter than I probably can. I mean, there's plenty of people to do it, but they also made it so fucking hard. Like, I have to go on random forums. I'm on giantbomb.com asking people in forums, like, hey, anybody want to play on Xbox One? And there's like 4 people. They're like, yeah, we're the only ones here, but yeah, we'll play with you anytime you want. And it would do great. And like, I think this is finally I think this is the game that that Bungie wanted to put out a year ago. So it's really cool to kind of see them return to form, tell a good story. The frickin' environments are amazing. Like, nobody can frame a shot in a first-person shooter like Bungie can. And I have to imagine that's not easy to do because you can't control what I'm going to look at. But in
Yeah.
some way, they still draw my eye to a lot of really cool shit. Like Saturn's Rings. Oh, man. I'm really impressed. I'm super impressed. And I haven't even played like the Crucible, the PvP stuff. I've just jumped in with buddies or done it on my own. And I haven't done the raid, which I don't know if I'll get to by the time I review it. But it's still like, so far, I haven't found anything that's done incorrectly or in a way that like pisses me off. But that being said, they're like correcting problems from a game that came out a year ago. So it's a weird
Right.
way to feel.
Still, that's hype. Better late than never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. God, I hope that's all the games I've played. Yeah, I think that's
Because
it. That's
this
all I
is
wanna
the
talk
last
about.
podcast we're ever going to do, so.
Yeah,
I
that's
Clearly.
rough if you forgot one.
game, set, match. So yeah, for my 45 minutes.
All right. So I have one more thing. So last night, I was just looking around on Twitter, just reading Twitter, and all of a sudden I noticed that there's this thing at Walmart, and
Oh, yeah.
it's a deluxe edition for Star Wars Battlefront with one of those tiny mini fridges that only hold like 2 or 3 cans of soda, but it is a Han Solo and carbonite is the door. So yeah, I might have bought that.
I don't blame you one bit.
I'm just saying.
Not one.
I'm just
bit.
saying. I might have bought it.
Something to stick your surge in while you're playing Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
Oh my
Something
God.
to hand down to your grandkids.
I jolt.
What a freaking throwback! Drinking Surge, playing Star Wars Battlefront was like actually what I was doing when the last Star Wars Battlefront was out.
Mom, give me another surge.
If they
Surge
brought
was
back
so
Ecto
good.
Cooler, it'd be
Oh my
Oh,
God.
the
man.
circle would be complete.
Oh my God, yes.
All right,
That's
well, I think that's a hell of a show.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
wrap.
All right, well, let's go the other way. I always start with Doxy, but Green, where can we find you?
Yeah.
YouTube.com/green9090, Twitter.com/green9090LP. I mostly just weekly content on my YouTube channel right now. I do like my friend and I switch off. We do 2 videos a week. One of them is a Binding of Isaac race, and one of them is like a just whatever multiplayer or not multiplayer game we find to, quote unquote compete in, but mostly just kind of check out together and have a good time in. So that's what I'm up to, and I tweet a lot.
Cool,
He does
cool.
tweet a lot.
That's me.
All right.
Brian, how about you?
Yeah, sure. You can find me on Twitter as Quiglin. That's Quiglin. I really haven't been doing much of anything else other than podcasts and working, because working pays for the video games, so that's why I do it. That's really the only reason.
That's why I'm here.
Everything else could burn around me.
Yeah.
The Marshawn Lynch.
I don't
I'm just
need to
here
eat.
play video games.
Yeah, I'm just here to play video games. That's it. Video games.
Awesome. Doxy.
I also have been very lackluster in my YouTube and Twitch schedule lately, but you can find me at youtube.com/ZER0DOXY, twitch.tv/ZER0DOXY, and twitter.com/ZERODOXY.
I like how you look into the camera. When
Yeah, no, she's really good at that.
She's
Like
on
at the end of
point.
every episode, it works.
I like to look at you guys when you're talking, but
Yeah.
when when I'm saying something specifically to one or all of you, I like to look at you, but like I realize that I'm talking to the audience, and so I look at them. I don't know.
Fuck those guys.
Sorry, dudes.
He didn't mean that.
How about you, Joe?
You can find me at twitter.com/Joe_McAllister. And that's about it. Right now, I haven't had any time to do any other YouTube or Twitchings, unfortunately. I may start streaming on my personal Twitch channel. We'll have to see how that plays out, especially if anybody out there is wanting to do some raids. I might see if I can get my ass kicked in a FIFA match online, just to kind of see how it goes.
Yeah.
I got to test it all out, right? If I got to review it. So, yeah, that's where you can find me.
You should also probably mention that we are finally going to launch the Homerow podcast YouTube channel. So you can find us there at probably just youtube.com/Homerow. We haven't fucking made it yet. So.
We'll,
Better make it before you put this podcast out.
Yeah, that's the
Who's gonna
plan.
make it and sell it to you.
Here's
That's
what
the plan.
you do. You follow us at twitter.com/Homerow podcast, and then we will let you know what the YouTube will be.
Also, just follow all of us because we'll talk about it.
That's true. You'll see the loop of retweets and favorites.
Yes.
All right, cool. So for the Homerow podcast, again, another successful episode.
Oh,
15.
bye, Brian.
Brian's just done, so I think it's a good time to go. All right, so until next time, we will see you later.
Bye, everybody.
Hi, thanks for having me on. It was fun.